you're walking on a tightrope, and this is what it is that to live awake is to walk along this tightrope. It's walking on the razor's edge, because the moment that you're not looking, you fall, you know? And that's exactly how it is. To live awake is to walk on this tightrope. The moment you look that way, you fall. You have to stay present. And the moment you see, there you go in the patterned thinking, you go, come back. You become the director of your thinking. We can actually use that. We can actually use our imagination and intention to, well, we are doing that anyway. It's not that we can, we already are, right? But if we do that consciously, then we can put that same, you know, because consciousness is all there is. And that you would have heard that, read that, seen that. For those of you who've been on this search for a while, you would have heard that so many times, right? And it's the absolute truth. Consciousness is all there is. The source of all things, and whatever word we give to it, but it's all there is. It's all what is, you know, whether we call it God, whatever name or label we give to it, that's the source of all things. And from that comes us. We come from that, right? So we cannot be something different than that. That, if we call it God for a moment, can only make something of itself, right? If God created the world, what did he make it out of? You know, I'm not talking about a guy in the sky, obviously, right? So if God created all things, what did he create it out of? What material did he use, right? He could only use of himself. Like, it's the language, right? So consciousness is all there is and all that it can be birthed from. And this is all consciousness itself, and even the imagination to imagine itself separate and live this life as a person is still given by the same consciousness, right? So that's powerful. It's powerful in any direction. In any direction, even when it goes unconscious and it goes into belief systems and separate identity and ego, and that is powerful. It's the same power gone in that direction, right? And if someone really, really strongly believes in themselves as a separate entity, an ego, that's powerful because it comes from the same source. So my point really in this moment is that when we place our intention, that is the same power. It's powerful. And we are creating our own reality. And that's not, it's not like, you know, when people are having a bad experience and they are told, you know, you've created that, then that can lead into kind of self-blame and guilt and all these things. And it's created, that's created unconsciously. It's not that somebody's done something bad and somebody's guilty. It's because it's unconscious, right? So by becoming conscious of how we're empowering, what we're empowering, and what thought processes are creating, by becoming more and more aware and conscious, we have the seeming a choice appears, right? And it's a very simple thing. It's very, very simple. We are creating our world, consciously or unconsciously. So why not create it consciously? And that's really living awake is really, this is part of it, you know, that we come to see how the events and circumstances in our life do have something to do with our unconscious and our subconscious.